Hey guys, well, it's Scott Beebe here with the Business on Purpose platform, where we work every day, even today, to help liberate you from chaos. And today's a really unique day. In fact, I just got done watching one of our local counties doing a disaster preparedness update for the county in terms of what we have going on. For those of you who don't know, we actually live in South Carolina, in the low country of South Carolina. I see a couple of you coming on right now from the low country, and we've just recently found out in the last few hours it looks like this pretty nasty, massive hurricane is turning our way. We'll see if it continues to go that way or not, but we're not quite sure. But what I wanted to do is we've been working with clients all morning, actually. We've had to kind of switch our coaching time to more disaster preparedness time. And we've put together a simple little checklist for those of you who are small business owners, which is many of you who watch our Facebook post here. I've gone ahead and put this link in the post here. So as soon as we're done, I think it should post up if it hasn't already. And so you can take a look at that just now. But I wanted to walk through some high-level things that you really do need to be thinking through. Number one, we've put here on the checklist is your family. We hear all the time that, well, it's just business. It's just business. Guys, it's not just business. We can't say that enough. It's not just business. Everything integrates. And if you're paying so much attention to business and sometimes can forget to pay attention at home or vice versa. And so we want to make sure that you've got your head on a swivel, as they used to tell us in football practice, constantly scanning what's going around, but a priority of making sure that your family has kind of the emotional support that they need to get prepared for wherever it is that you want to go. So this is, folks, not just where we're at, but also, folks, even though the Harvey storm is past, there is so much that's come behind that. And there's a lot that small business owners have learned through that experience as well. And then if anything else comes in terms of natural disasters, tornadoes, and this is not we're trying to scare you kind of moment at all. In fact, we're literally kind of in the pathway of the next biggie. And so we're trying to think through this ourselves. And so we put this together. So the first thing is think about is your family. The second thing to think about right down here are your team, your teammate, your employees, and begin to ask critical questions around what is it right now minimally that I can provide or set up for our team members to understand where it is that they need to go. And when I say minimally, I'm talking about don't take a lot of time, because you need time right now because the clock ticks when you're preparing for a natural disaster by the time you hear about it, so you can start really drilling down on what you need to do. The third thing to think through is your equipment and your infrastructure. All right, so when you've thought through your team, how best can I communicate with them? What is it that they're having to think through right now, and help setting up kind of a team member infrastructure for whatever type business you're in. Some of your businesses need to run right up until whether it's mandatory evacuations or whatever. Others of you, you might be scattered and spread through different parts of the country. You might be okay and go ahead and go and take off. But what does your team need? So begin thinking through that. Then also your equipment and your infrastructure. Some of you have large pieces of equipment. Some of you have no equipment at all. And the infrastructure that you actually have to work your business. What needs to be tied down? Laid down, turned over, shipped somewhere else, whatever that might look like. So begin to think through that. The next element that we've put down here are your business documents. Now, this goes for home and for work. Critical written business documents that they have, whether it be mortgages, they might be certificates, they might be insurance policies, whatever those things are. And hopefully you've got a safe. If not, obviously find a relatively safe place that you can put those. But make sure that you've got the critical documents in place so that you can take those with you. And obviously, any digital documents that you have in a secure location are helpful as well. So passports, any kind of operational agreements from a business perspective, any sort of estate planning agreements, documents that you've walked through, make sure that you've got those critical documents in there. And again, this is not here to scare you. It's just here to help prepare you. So family, your team and employees, your equipment and infrastructure, these critical business documents, make sure to put those in a certain place. And then any info tech. Think about the machines. This machine I'm on, fortunately, is very portable. Some of you have servers. Some of you have electronic equipment that you need to take with you, backups, all of those sorts of things. You need to be thinking through what needs to be backed up, what's critical that I need to take with me, and when I take it with me, what kind of transport does that need to be in? And so you're just walking through methodically your checklist. So information technology, what does that look like? Where does it need to be stored? And what do you need to be working on? The next thing down here is your inventory and products. We talked about equipment earlier, but then think about your inventory and products. And not just are they in a place where they're going to get hurt, destroyed, damaged, but also Are you dealing with, we've got one client who deals with chemicals. Are those chemicals in a place where if water or storm, kind of debris or anything hits it, that it could cause additional disaster what's there? So you're not just thinking about you and your business, but you're also having to think about the community that you're a part of. So make sure that you take time to consider and think about your inventory products, what those look like. Are your inventory and products life-critical inventory and products, healthcare, et cetera, groceries, fuel, those sorts of things? Or are they non-urgent, non-life-threatening? Because many of your businesses are not just businesses to support a living for you and your team. Some of your businesses are actually critical to the livelihood of the community in terms of day-to-day, especially in natural disaster response. And so be thinking about what part of that continuum do you live on. I'm not in a critical part to where you're dependent on what we do for day-to-day livelihood in terms of food, water, shelter, et cetera. What we're here to offer is something that we can be more distant from. So you want to be thinking through that as it relates to your products and your services. And the final thing that we've got on this, and again, this little check sheet that we just built based on real-time client discussion here over the last 6 hours. So this is real-time. These are the exact categories that we've been walking through. The final one is your customer schedule and communication. Some of you have got events planned, you've got scheduled services planned, whatever it might look like for you over the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days based on whatever disaster might be coming your way. And again, if a disaster is not coming your way, just ignore this for now. File this document away and use it later. This is not here to be the insurance, commercial that's trying to freak you out, or the home alarm service that's trying to freak you out. Not at all. Just saying, hey, let's get protected from whatever might be coming. And when you think about your customer service and your schedule, go ahead and put in play. We had one company this morning that they schedule their jobs a couple of days out. And so they're going to go ahead and communicate with their customers that, hey, this is our plan. We may have to back up on the plan, but you'll know that within the next 24 hours. So they're going ahead and communicating now, and then they'll communicate again in the next 24 hours. We've got client meetings, both online and also live. And so we've already started communicating with some of our live clients, and we'll be communicating with some of our online clients because we can keep those going from wherever we are. So those are just some things down here. So let me walk through those categories again. Family, team and employees, equipment and infrastructure, business documents that you have, inventory, information tech, inventory and products. So that's different than your equipment. And then the final thing on there is your customer schedule and your communication. So again, this link is right there in the post for those of you who want it. I appreciate those of you who have come on. And if you are in the low country of South Carolina, make sure you pay attention. If you're in Florida, if you're in Georgia, if you're up into North Carolina, even in the upstate of South Carolina and Georgia, please pay attention. Take some time to get prepared. The work will always be there, but the time to get prepared for something like this will not always be there. And so for those of you who are going to have to stay behind because you're in emergency services, in advance, thank you. Thank you for what you do, and thank you for allowing us the opportunity to be able to evacuate and go to safe places while the disasters pass us. So hope that helps you. Again, the link is right there. If you're a small business owner and you know other small business owners, especially right now at the time of this recording, who are going to be in the path of a natural disaster, do you mind sharing this? Just share this post as soon as it's done, or you can share it right now, and that way we can spread this little checklist. Totally free, no emails, no nothing. Just go in there, grab this checklist. It's a view-only checklist, and you'll be able to print it out and leverage it for your small business so you can, as we help liberate you from chaos, you can help liberate some of the people in your life and your business from chaos as well. Again, go check us out, mybusinessonpurpose.com. Thanks for hopping on here, especially for those of you who are in the pathway of any kind of natural disaster, whether it's right now at the time of this recording or in the future that something might come. So, and again, our emergency officials, thank you. Thank you for all the hard work that you do. All right, guys, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.